What's up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out the
GoldenEar ForceField 40 subwoofer.
Okay, so shout out to GoldenEar for sending these guys out for me for a review. So thanks guys for that. Let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed.
Inside the box we have the quick start guide and the power cable.
Size-wise, it's about 13¼ inches wide, and depth-wise, it's about 18 inches, and height-wise, it's about 14 inches tall. And as far as weight, it does weigh about 40.5 pounds. Now let's take a look up front. So behind the grill, which is non-removable, so you can't remove this grill, there is a 10-inch driver behind this with a frequency response down to 14 hertz. It does have a nice little GoldenEar logo embossed in black right in the lower center bottom. And then if I swing it around back, we've got in the upper corner here your power inlet, the on-off LED indicator. You got a switch between left and right input or LFE in. This is the low pass crossover, which is from 40 hertz up to 150 hertz. The subwoofer level. And this is your LFE input. And then if you want to switch it upwards, this is your left and right input. And the amplifier is rated at 1200 watts. Now, if we look on the bottom, there is an 11×13 passive radiator on the bottom here. So this is what's gonna really give this small size enclosure the extension down to like 14 hertz. And what's also cool is here, we have these rubber, I believe like rubber sorbethane feet. So these are kind of like those SVS SoundPath feet. So it's really thick rubber, so this will keep it decoupled from the floor. So hopefully the base energy doesn't travel down stairs into the second floor or first floor, or whatever floor you're on, into your neighbor's house. As far as fit and finish, this is kind of a satiny black finish. There is a very slight, very muted gloss to it, but it's very nicely painted. So I do like that. And it is in a rectangular shape, so it has this kind of curvature to the edges to it. And it also kind of curves around top. So the top is not flat. There's a slight little bow on the top. All right, so like I said, I got two of these in for a review. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set up in the home theater and I'll give you some thoughts and impressions. Now I've teamed up with both GoldenEar and Audioquest to give away a 3-meter Irish Red subwoofer cable. All you gotta do to be entered for the giveaway is be subscribed to the channel and follow both GoldenEar and Audioquest on their Instagram. Leave me a comment here on this video so I know who to contact, and one of you guys will get a free subwoofer cable sent to you from us, GoldenEar, Audioquest, and myself. So thanks for watching, good luck, and now on to the review. The subs are going to be placed in my dedicated space, one in the front left corner and the other in the opposite right rear corner. They'll be hooked up to a Trinnov Altitude processor, with demos being played back with a Kaleidoscope and as a PD media player. I won't be using the room correction in my processors to get the subs dialed in. I'll only be using what's built into the subwoofers themselves. Since I've already reviewed GoldenEar's flagship XXL subs in the past, I figured we'd play back the same demos and see how these ones stack up. First one being The Greatest Showman. I can't play any of the actual songs without incurring a copyright strike, so we're just going to check out the opening instrumental, which can hit pretty hard. There's nothing like having a small box that can rattle everything that's not secured in your room. Both of these subs together sounded like I had much larger subwoofers in here. The attack is very quick from the onset, and because of the passive radiator, after every initial bass hit, there was a really deep resonant wave of extension that filled the room with a nicely pressurized feeling. I don't think they have quite the same beefy weightiness as the Super Sub XXLs, but given that this is only a single 10 versus the dual 12s in the XXL, I wasn't missing as much as I would have thought.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Because the force fields seem like they're responsibly quick and can bang, we're going to pop in Fury next. From about 30 Hz on up, these snap right into action aggressively, which makes the heavy artillery feel like there's a shootout right outside my door. The extra extension that I heard on The Greatest Showman is present here as well. After a tank fires a shot, you'll feel the initial blast, but you'll also feel and hear the reverberation that can echo afterwards. That extra low-end extension expands the soundstage outwards, which enhances the visuals on screen to make it feel as if you're right outside in this big outdoor field. Some smaller subs can sound just as tight and quick, but will come up short with the subtleties down low. The GoldenEars give you both of these attributes from just a small 10-incher.
I don't see shit.
Since these really excelled at 30 Hz on, let's see how clean these can hold a note and throw on Blade Runner 2049 next. These little guys are no slouches. They remain balanced and didn't sound as if they'd give out even when driving them well above my comfort level. That said, if you were gonna step up to the bigger XXLs, you can drive those a lot louder while having the same composure without any boominess. It's also got a more guttural feel that'll send shivers down your spine. While the ForceField 40s won't hit those same peaks, I did feel that they had more than enough pressurization to give you that sensation that they're a lot bigger than what they are. Finally, we're going to wrap this up with Edge of Tomorrow and see how deep these 10-inchers can go. It's got a DTS HD track that goes infrasonic.
I'm not sure if we're even on the air.
Well, it's no surprise that these aren't going to dig all that low, and they don't even claim that they can. They'll play loudly until things can get dangerously low, but instead of bottoming out or distorting, they'll just stop making noise. So if you do happen to be watching a movie loudly that all of a sudden drops into a single-digit explosion, you don't have to worry about the thing self-destructing. The demo was still plenty impressive for their size, they just won't dig incredibly low. Now, I did take a few measurements at my main listening seat. Keep in mind that these are the responses I got in my room, so they'll likely be very different for yours. First one is of the subwoofer in the front corner. It's got a dip at 55 Hz, and the sub in the back corner, you can see that I've got a dip at about 38 Hz. Both combined, I've got a really clean response with extension that goes down to roughly 21 Hz. I know it's spec to go down to 14 Hz, but there's nothing really usable down there. At the time of this video, a single ForceField 40 is selling for $1,200. It's hard nowadays to find a subwoofer that actually sounds bad. Well, below 21 inches, it's pretty hard. The ForceField 40 is right there with high-performing smaller subs like the SVS Micro 3000, KEF KF92, and even the REL T9X. It even hung in there against this bigger brother, the XXL. Now, of course, comparing it to the XXL isn't exactly fair because it's a lot bigger, it's got a better built enclosure, and it's 2 drivers instead of 1. So it obviously does everything the ForceField 40 does, just better. I'd say if the XXL was a 10, then the ForceField 40 would be a, I don't know, maybe 7.8. I think a single ForceField 40 would do great in smaller rooms, but medium to large rooms, you definitely want to go with 2. The only thing that really bothers me about the subwoofer, and even GoldenEar's flagships, is the fact that they don't include an XLR input. I mean, there's processors out there that don't even have unbalanced RCA outs, which means that you'll have to go through the hassle to get an adapter. And since I mentioned the SVS, it would be nice if they included some adjustable DSP. None of these are deal breakers, but it would be nice to see in a future iteration. With that said, I've had these in my theater for the past few months. They're very clean, hard-hitting subs that I think are great for home theater. If you've got smaller stand-mount speakers like the GoldenEar BRXs, then these would be a perfect complement for a full-range setup. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these can hang with larger subs, but they're not going to dig crazy deep, especially if you have a large space. These are small and meant to take up minimal space, be inconspicuous, but give you big output, and these certainly accomplish that. So if you want big bass but lack big space, then the ForceField 40 might be exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you want to grab anything that I've mentioned in this video, I will leave links for them down below in the video's description. So what are your thoughts on GoldenEar subwoofers? Have you guys ever heard any GoldenEar subs? And if so, what'd you think of the performance? Leave your comment down below and let me know. And also, if you want to enter in for the giveaway, leave a comment down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can find us on Patreon. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.